Very important and credible voices with us on the broadcast tonight. And the big question that we're trying to underscore, can these negotiations permanently diffuse the tension? 48-hour window, that's what's been given, and that's what's been given to us to understand. How should the administration now balance? Is this merely the fallout of one isolated, immediate incident, or are there deeper social and cultural fault lines at play over here? Because clearly, this is not the first time that something like this has come to light. How about you help the viewers on that front, Professor?
I'm glad you talked about the deeper fault lines. The deeper fault lines are that the people of India have over the years become more and more uncivil. A fight over a parking issue, people parking their vehicles any which way, people who are objecting to that parking, objecting in manners which are hurtful. These are issues which Indians need to take care of. Indians need to understand that they don't have to be hurtful to each other. So that's one most important thing, that Indians need to understand not to be hurtful to each other, even where there are small disputes or big disputes. The second layer over here is about the Nihangs. The Nihangs are like this only. In Punjab, people have experienced far more violence from the Nihangs than what this particular episode demonstrates. The Nihangs, in their hearts, they are a very innocent, bhole bhale jisko bolte hai na, these are bhola bhala people. At the same time, they are strongly committed to a culture of violence. So between bhola bhala and being violent, the net result is the kind of hangama that you saw in Uttarakhand recently. This kind of hangama usually gets diffused by either using extraordinary force against them, which happens in Punjab off and on, or alternately of talking to their seniors, which is what is happening in Uttarakhand when the Pauta Sahab discussions took place, in which I think it was the SSP Haridwar who participated with the seniors of the Nihangs and asked them to tell the boys to take it easy. As far as this matter of taking weapons all over the place is concerned, this is a matter to do with the Indian state. That's the third layer. The state in India is close to non-existent. The state in India is widely perceived to be extremely oppressive and unfair. The Nihangs are basically fighting for, they are insisting that we have been unfairly treated. The people of Karnaprayag are saying, we have been unfairly treated. Everyone feels that the state has been unfair to them. If somehow we can create a situation in which people start having faith in the state, start feeling not faith in the chief minister or the prime minister, but in the local administration and its fairness, it would go a long way in ensuring that such jhanjat does not happen in the future.
That's going to be a mammoth of a task for the local administration to instill that kind of confidence, because you yourself painted the contours of this entire issue. One is being the bhola bhala aspect, and the other is the traditional arms that come with it. I mean, those are two extremes of this entire, and the intricacies that you've just put out in front of us. I understand that we're becoming as a society a very low frustration tolerant society.
Uncivil society.
Look at what happened on that Mumbai Metro local.
This argument further, essentially law and order is something which should be done all the time, routinely and regularly, so that special interventions are not needed. Why this is not possible in India, that's a different matter altogether. But at the same time, there is this whole issue of the Nihangs. Nihangs are an armed group who have been, for whatever reason, allowed to remain armed. Please remember, armed sadhus, armed sannyasis, armed people who take on the Veshbhusa of a sadhu, these people have been in Indian history for a very long time. In every other state, they have been disarmed, and in every other state, they have been told that they cannot behave in this militant, violent fashion in public. Whatever small cultural things they want to do, they can do it privately within their own deras, but not in public. In Punjab, however, for some reason, the government and the culture both allow the Nihangs to behave in the way they do, and this is what you are seeing in front.
Okay. Before I go back to the DGP, just one final question here, Professor. You see, the hotel owner or the local resident who was attacked, he had to be airlifted. I mean, he got such serious injuries that person had to be airlifted to the nearby AIMS. I mean, for the local community over there, Professor, I mean, it seems like this is a very hard, fact to swallow.
Permit me to point out that just a few years ago, some Nihangs had attacked a police officer and cut off his hand in Patiala, and close to nothing happened to them. The culture in Punjab is that of nurturing violence. And that's what I was saying earlier. This culture, something has to be done about this culture, that you cannot be violent all the time, and in the name of religion, in the name of culture, in the name of tradition, you cannot be carrying deadly weapons in public. Carrying a ceremonial sword, a religious sword, is very different from carrying an armed weapon in a public jeep like they're doing over here.
All right, all right. Many thanks, Professor. I'm going to come back to you for round two. DGP, you see, let's look at the core demand here, sir. The core demand is the release of the 4 arrested Nihang 6. Now, we just heard, the Jattedhar saying that after about 2 days, we'll get a chance to see those 4 Nihang 6. We will meet with them. We will carry out our pilgrimage. We will go visit Hemkund Sahib. And only after that will we go back to Punjab. So do you think the standoff is going to continue? Because once the administration insists that and that entire culture of violence, as a historian, as a professor, how should one understand this growing friction that we've been seeing between the historical traditions, the cultural traditions that we just pointed out, such as the bearing of the traditional arms, and the law and order apparatus of modern state and modern day India? So, I think that's the biggest bone of contention and the flashpoint, don't you think?
See, the most important thing to notice over here is that the local police, Uttarakhand police, has handled this entire situation rather well. Despite being provoked by so many armed people, the police has not resorted to violence. The police has acted with considerable restraint, and the police has constantly asked that some talk should happen. The local district administration, the local collector, they have been in the forefront of talking to the Nihangs, the ones who occupied the Gurdwara, to stop doing that, and those Nihangs also came down. The most important thing is that in any such situation, there would be some people who will be trying to provoke a greater confrontation. Whether these people are actually Nihangs, whether they are infiltrators, these are issues which need to be discussed, which need to be understood and analyzed. On the surface, it would not seem very easy, but I do know that if the cooperation of Punjab police is taken, they would certainly be able to unearth any further controversy, any further conspiracy that may be going on over here. Because there's always a possibility that this large mobilization that happened from Mohali is next to where I am sitting right now, this kind of a large mobilization is not possible without some outside interference going on over here. This outside interference is something which broader policing needs to take care of. So,
the fringe instigation is what you're talking about.
No, not just religious instigation. Someone stepping in.
Fringe instigations.
Absolutely. The fringe people coming in, and the fringe people could just be encouraged by elements in Pakistan. So you need to be very careful about these things, and it was a wonderful thing which the Uttarakhand police has done. So they should continue with this effort.
That discussion at Paonta Sahib and the statements that came thereafter, and both sides now saying that we are cooperating with each other. Both sides using the same word is actually a great sign. I said it right in the beginning that's the biggest silver lining to take here. I'm running out of time here. My final question to both of you, 30 seconds, sir. First, Professor, you see, in the pages of history, and I don't mean to hurt the sentiments of any particular community here, in the pages of history, the identity of the Nihangs has been that of the protectors of the Sikh Panth. These cases, in the context of what happened at that Gurdwara, in the context of what happened in Karnaprayag, in the context of what happened last night, do you see that perspective might be shifting for the common man out there?
Absolutely. In Punjab, people are fed up of the Nihangs, and the Nihangs need to be told that while you are welcome to follow your practices, these practices have to be followed within the limits of your own dera and not in public.
All right. And your take on what's going to happen next? What do the next 30 hours have in store for us?
Oh, they'll be peaceful. The Nihang chiefs, they have a long history of standing with the state, long history of cooperating with state authorities. They are not going to allow these youngsters to do any gadbad jhala, and that is what gave me the indication that possibly these youngsters are doing some gadbad out of the site of the dera, doing it autonomously and creating some unnecessary jhagda.
All right.